Good afternoon, everyone. You're at the Energy Upgrade California Participation Workshop webinar. We're going to get started in just a few minutes here. And so I invite you to get relaxed and prepare for the webinar. Thanks. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Energy Upgrade California Participation Workshop. I'm going to be moderating this webinar. My name is Matt Savage. I work at Build It Green here. And Build It Green is the program implementer for the PG&E Whole House Rebate Program, which is part of the Energy Upgrade California program, which some of you may have heard of. So hopefully that's why you're here today. I'm also joined by my colleague, Melina Corona. She's a project manager here at Build It Green, and she works on the program, and we're going to be presenting today. Today's webinar is being recorded, so a link will be emailed to all of you when after the webinar, and we will also send you a copy of the slides, which can be found on our website right now. The questions, if you have questions during the presentation, you can enter them in the question box on the right-hand side of the GoToMeeting dashboard. Your phone line's on mute due to the high number of attendees, so just please use that box and we'll get back to you in a timely fashion. And we'll pause periodically during the presentation to answer those questions. So today's webinar is entitled the Energy Upgrade California Participation Workshop, and these are intended to be your first entry point into the program, and you'll get credit for this for attending today. So we kind of do monitor attendance, so make sure that you stay for the whole time so you can get credit for this. And we'll go ahead and, I think, get started. I'll just introduce myself and what I do here. I manage a lot of the contractor outreach, training, and recruiting for the program, the Energy Upgrade California program. Melina also helps in that capacity. Do you want to say hi, introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. My name is Melina, and it's likely that when or if you become participating contractors and you have questions about job submission later on in the program, that you'll speak with myself or my associate Alex. We manage some of the customer service inquiries that come in via phone and email.
Great. So I invite you now to just tell us a little bit about yourself. What brought you here today? What are you hoping to get out of the presentation? What type of contractor are you, or what type of business are you involved in? Are you an HVAC contractor, insulation, home performance? Tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought you here today. And you can enter that in the questions or the comments box. There's also a little comments box where you can comment. So yeah, just if we know that, then we can start to make sure that we cover everything that you want to know. So what is the agenda today? We're going to really go into the why get involved in this program. And then the second half, we're going to talk about the how. So how do you get involved? And the goal today is everything that you need to know to participate in this program. And so I won't go into any more detail on that. This program is really part of a national trend towards, existing homes and performance-based rebate incentive programs as opposed to just prescriptive rebates. So traditionally, you'd swap out a box or swap out some insulation, you get a rebate for it. Those still exist and they're great, but this is looking at the whole house as a system, and there's a growing trend towards energy efficiency and smart grid and all that kind of. That's the climate we're operating into. I mean, the message here today is that the industry really is going in this direction, whether you like it or not. And so solar is obviously a sexy kind of representation of where things are going, but energy efficiency can be argued that that's ultimately a first step and equally as important. So these are national trends, not unique to California, and we're shifting kind of to performance and not just widgets. So this program had its roots in New York. I think the first home performance program started about 20 years ago, and it's moved west since. California is a kind of later adopter to this type of program, and we're building on the extensive prior experience. So you can see some of the different programs across the country here that we're working that are similar to this. And really it's all about BS. What do I mean by that? That's building science. It's based on 20 years of scientific research on how these different systems interact within the home. So looking at the whole house as a whole system of interrelated parts that work together, not just looking at one part of the home. And the idea with home performance is really to become kind of a doctor where you can just, a home doctor, where you can diagnose problems and prescribe solutions. I mean, there's obviously a spectrum in that. You don't have to become, do everything, but, it's about, solving problems for homeowners. So poor indoor air quality is a big one. Obviously high energy bills, occupancy comfort, hot and cold rooms, kind of evening that all out for the homeowner. And a lot of complaints are about that. And obviously doing the work to high quality so it's durable and long-lasting. But so buildings are this highly complicated system, and that's part of what this program is all about, is this building performance stuff. And so this just gives a visual to kind of what that could look like. Sealing the living area, the building envelope, and then properly right-sizing the right HVAC system or heating and cooling system, Energy efficiency windows could be part of that, although that's sometimes not the most cost-effective option. But a lot of homeowners like that, and we don't say what's better or not. But so anyway, that gives you a brief idea. And really, it's about empowering the contractor, kind of training you guys to become qualified contractors, so you have the tools and knowledge to turn these problems into comprehensive solutions with the ability to save deep energy savings. So we're not talking about 10%. Well, on the lower end, we can talk about 10%, but you can get up to 40% energy savings with these type programs. So that's what we're going for. And you guys become the one-stop shop to provide these services, so you can become the expert in this and help the homeowner through this process to do this diagnostic assessment to see how the home is performing, kind of this baseline, and then kind of fix the problems in their house, make them happier, and save them energy and money at the same time. Energy Upgrade California, this is kind of the statewide logo that you may have seen. It's kind of based on a lot of research, and this is kind of the local, each utility, I should say, has a different version of this. They're all pretty similar, but they have different nuances and program requirements. So what we're talking about today is the PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric Whole House Rebate Program, which is obviously one of the big utilities in Northern California, reaching down to almost Bakersfield and Santa Barbara County. So it's a big territory, and this is what we're talking about here today. The statewide goals for this program overall, for the whole program, were to, originally they were talking about upgrading 100,000 homes by 2013. These are what I would call big, hairy, audacious goals. That's only 1% of the California housing stock, and to give you some idea of perspective, we're not even scratching the surface on that. I mean, we've only done about, what, is it 3,000 homes? So do the numbers. That's less than, I think, less than 1%, or about 1% of the 100,000. So another goal was to create a lot of jobs. So that's where you guys come in, and evolve thinking to this whole house approach, and obviously reduce greenhouse gas emissions as they're becoming increasingly, people are becoming aware of that issue, and obviously improve air quality and health. So this represents really an unprecedented collaboration between the California Energy Commission and the Public Utilities Commission. A lot of local city and county governments are also involved, as are the investor-owned utilities like PG&E, SoCalGas, SoCal Edison, and the municipally-owned utilities. And the vision here was to kind of get all these bodies together, create one unified kind of program and brand, and sustain a home performance industry, and really kind of transform the market for these energy-efficient upgrades to homes, single-family homes. So the funding sources are, you may be wondering at this point, where is the money coming from? Well, essentially, it's from ratepayer funds. That's probably the best way to think about it. But there were a lot of stimulus funds that were involved until recently. Some of them are still going around, still going on. But most of that stimulus funding, the ERA funding, as you may have heard it being called, is kind of twilighting now. And the good thing about this program is that it's based on these ratepayer funds. So it's really kind of a solid revenue stream, and it's not really going anywhere. So we expect this program to continue well beyond 2012. And this will give you a little snapshot of who we are and where we fit in the picture. It can be confusing when you're just starting out, all the different bodies involved. So program management, obviously, we were hired by Pacific Gas and Electric to implement this program for them. We're the implementer, Build It Green. We're a nonprofit here based in Oakland, and we do a lot of work with with PG&E on this program, and then the enrollment process and the incentives, so the rebate processing, is done by the Electric and Gas Industries Association, or EGIA, as you might know them. They're one of our key partners. And then the statewide website, which you're free to visit, is www.energyupgradeca.org. That's kind of where homeowners go, where contractors can go for some resources, but it's mostly a homeowner-facing website, and they can find contractors, and we'll get into that later. But that's managed by an organization called Renewable Funding. So at the end of each section, we have these comprehension questions. This is something that we recently added by popular demand. And these are kind of like a snapshot of each section to give you an idea of what you kind of should have taken, the key points you should have taken away from the section. So you should be able to answer what is Energy Upgrade California now, statewide umbrella, or for this program. What is a performance-based incentive versus a prescriptive? So we'll get into that later, but the short answer is it's based on modeled energy savings instead of just swapping a widget. So hope that makes sense. And then what is home performance in the whole house approach? We went into that a little bit. It's all about building science and kind of seeing the whole house as a system of interrelated parts. Where is the funding coming from? Well, it's mostly coming from ratepayer funds and PG&E territory for this one. It goes to the California Public Utilities Commission, and then they disseminate it back to the utilities. So feel free to ask if you're curious about that. We can talk a little bit more about that. Who is involved in program implementation and what other roles? So Build It Green, we're the program implementer, and then PG&E, Renewable Funding manages the website, and EGIA helps with contractor enrollment and rebate processing. Any questions right now?
No, there was a question about the slides and having access to them. So a link to the slides will be emailed to all attendees after the webinar. But that's it.
Great, thanks, Melina. And yeah, so just another note on attendance. We do monitor attendance, so please stay the whole time. We're going to try to be as fast as we can today. We have a lot of information to cover. Originally, these took 3 hours. We've gotten them down to about, 2 hours. And so we ask that you just, pay attention, have some coffee or something, and get through this. So the more you pay attention now, the better, because there are a lot of little nuances you need to know. We're obviously here to help you, so this isn't the last time you get to talk to us, but we're going to help you through the process. But this is where you get all the download of all the information. So the next section is about the homeowners. What does this program look like to homeowners? Is this my section? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. This is a value proposition, if you will, the program benefits to homeowners. You can just read down this list. I don't need to go through them all. They're kind of repetitive to what I've already talked about a little bit. But comfort's a huge one, lowering their bills, improving their efficiency, boosting the local economy. All these are messages that are talked about with homeowners. Obviously, the rebates get some money, up to $4,000. So what's the eligibility for the program? Well, it's no propane. We just want to put this up front because a lot of contractors, we don't want to waste your time if we're under different understandings. So you have to be a PG&E gas and or electric customer, no propane. You can ask why if you want, but customers who receive only one utility from PG&E will receive a prorated rebate amount. So what that means is in split utility area such as SMUD, PG&E, where one utility supplies the gas and the other supplies the electric, we will only pay for the PG&E portion of that rebate. So if the modeled energy savings was 40%, we just pay whatever was attributable to the PG&E portion. So hopefully that makes sense. But single-family detached and 2 to 4 unit residences are also eligible. So we can talk more about that. But it's for existing homes, so it's not really new construction. And property owners do not need to reside in the home. So hopefully that's clear. Here's the rebate tier structure. for the different packages. We have the basic package. Is that that's a 10% on average model?
On average, yeah. There's no modeling required for the basic package. We'll discuss the required measures later on in the presentation. But when the program was developed, the basic package assumption was that the model savings would be about 10%.
Thanks. Melina helps me keep me in line. And then the advanced package, you do have the modeled energy savings, so you have 15% to 40%, and I think there's some slight new things coming down the pipeline here with, I think, slightly higher, but I shouldn't talk about that yet. And so those range from $1,500 to $4,000 rebates, depending on the modeled energy savings. And this is how participating contractors are talked about to homeowners, that they're highly trained specifically for this program, that they're, have all the valid licenses, bonding, certifications, and training. They're really experts in energy efficiency, and they're certified by the Building Performance Institute, or BPI, as you may have heard of. We can talk about that a little bit more. They're a national nonprofit that does a lot in this realm. And the program website for homeowners is the one I mentioned earlier, energyupgradeca.org. I welcome you to visit it. It's kind of a one-stop shop for them where they can plan an upgrade project. They can find a list of contractors in their area and raters as well. And they can find out what rebates and incentives are available and watch videos and stuff. Here's a screenshot. This is how they kind of go through the process. I'm going to kind of go through this kind of quickly. But they can enter an action plan, choose different packages. It's kind of like they're shopping for a home upgrade, like if you were to buy something online. And then they get to you guys. They find a contractor. And then they can, email you directly, call you, see a description, see your credentials, all that. So the comprehension questions are these. Just going to let you guys read them a little bit. Any questions right now, maybe? You guys can enter them in the question box. It'd be good to quiz you, but we won't do that. So what are the benefits of Energy Upgrade California? You should be able to talk about that right now as it relates to homeowners. I would talk about comfort. I would talk about saving energy on their bills. I would talk about indoor air quality. I would talk about all that kind of stuff. Improving the local economy is obviously a big thing as we go. The economy's in a tough place, so a lot of homeowners might want to hear that message. So how do I calculate the rebates for homeowners? Well, you'll get a better sense of that as we go forward, but essentially there's two paths, the basic and advanced path. Just know that the rebates are up to $4,000 currently, and they're based on the modeled energy savings of the home, except for the basic path, which is a little bit more cut and dry, basically like a laundry list of measures you do. So how should I, the contractor, talk about myself and my qualifications? Well, you should say that you're highly trained energy efficiency expert. Then you're trained, you're certified by BPI and the Building Performance Institute, and you really have the tools to deliver a whole house approach and a turnkey approach where you can prescribe prescribe problems find problems and address them in the home, whether it be comfort or allergies or whatnot. So hopefully you guys can start doing this and build your own case studies and referrals. But what is the website URL? It's www.energyupgradeca.org. As a homeowner, what can I do on the website? Well, you can find a contractor. You can start looking at the different paths to upgrade, the basic or the advanced, and that kind of thing. Find out more about the program. Okay. I think I'll cover this one, right? Okay. So why would you get enrolled in this program? That's what we're going to cover now. So why, as a participating contractor, would you do this, or why as a contractor? These are the benefits to you guys. Really, it's about differentiation. It's a competitive marketplace, and you really want to stand out from the guys who aren't, aren't even pulling permits. They, got the receipts in the glove box, disorganized. They just have a truck, and they're kind of going around in a disorganized fashion. That shouldn't be you, or hopefully that's not what you want to be. You want to kind of, compete on quality, not just on price. You don't want to be, it's a race to the bottom if you're competing on price. These energy upgrade projects have bigger profit margins, or they can do. Now, a lot of contractors say that this is increased time to do all this rebate submission. I'm not going to lie, it takes some time to get it down, but I think once you get the system down, you can decrease your labor costs, so it's profitable for you. So we can talk more about that, but reduce the seasonality in your business. So you don't want just people calling you, when it's hot or cold. This is an ability to really kind of tap into your existing customer base, into customers that may want something from you in the future, or to have a good, better, best scenario. So you're always integrating home performance into your sales process, even if that's not what they want today. And really, you're going to get fewer customer callbacks, more referrals. You're going to get more engaged employees. I mean, employees want to get involved in energy efficiency and environmental movement and learning new stuff, and this is where the market's going. So it's a good way to kind of get employees engaged and reduce turnover. So some of the marketing collateral that you get, I wouldn't get too excited about all this stuff, because this is just a small part of what you get in the program, but I think it's important to note that a lot of contractors don't use this stuff, so use it. If you're going to get involved, use this stuff, because it associates you with this bigger statewide program, and you have might as well. So you get all this kind of stuff. You get marketing collateral. You get door hangers that you can print out or order rather. And then here's kind of a list of kind of what's on this website, theenergyupgradeca.org/resources. You get a username and password when you get approved in the program, and then you can log into this website. So brochures, fact sheets, lawn signs, logos, talking points, guidelines and terms. Recommend looking at all that. Here's kind of what that website looks like for you guys. So you get a little folder structure, and you can poke around and find various resources. Here are the logos. And so you have to meet our marketing guidelines, but I would use these on your business cards, website, marketing collateral, door hangers, that kind of stuff. You're a participating contractor, officially approved, and I would take advantage of that. So let you read these quickly and hopefully answer some of that in your head as you enter questions that you may have now about why you should get involved or otherwise. Anything coming in?
There are a few.
What? Oh, okay. While you read those questions on the screen, I'm going to help Melina log back into the computer. Thanks. So you should be able to answer these. What are the benefits of the Energy Upgrade California program to the contractors? Well, we talked about some of them. One of the main ones is differentiation, higher job margins. I would say those are two of the main ones. Employee retention, fewer customer callbacks, more referrals, happier customers. How do I, the contractor, get listed on the statewide portal? You have to go through the enrollment process, and once you're enrolled, you'll receive one final email, and that'll be, I think it's the one final email. Is that?
Approved contractors receive an approval email from EGIA, from Contractor Services, once they're approved. And then they receive an email from Renewable Funding. Renewable Funding currently manages that statewide website, energyupgradeca.org. And you'll get an email for the resources page, but then you'll also get an email requesting confirmation of your contractor profile. So you'll be able to submit a summary of your company to post on the website, and all of that's confirmed shortly after you become approved for the program.
Great, thanks, Melina. So yeah, keep track of this stuff. Create a folder on your shared network or something at your company or on your computer, and keep everything in an organized fashion from day one, because there's a lot of little details that you're going to need to keep track of, like logins and stuff. What marketing resources are available for contractors? I mentioned some of them: door hangers, marketing material, logos, lawn signs, that stuff. And you get them from, where do you get them? EnergyUpgradeCA.org. So anyway, moving on. I think this is your section.
That's correct. Yeah, there were a couple questions that were
okay, yeah,
that
sure.
I'd just like to address. One contractor asked if they can download the individual slides from this presentation to present to customers during their presentations. There is some restrictions to this content. So currently, we don't distribute individual slides. When we share the slides with you, they'll be in PDF format. There is something in development. We're developing sort of like a marketing slide deck for contractors to use with homeowners. That's currently in development, and PG&E is hoping to release that during their marketing campaign in August. That'll be an additional resource that contractors have. So although these slides will be emailed to you, they'll be emailed to you in a PDF format, and you won't be able to edit or modify the slides.
But feel free to share parts of the presentation in PDF format if you'd like. I don't see a problem with that because you can download them. So.
The next question is, if a homeowner wanting to take advantage of the $4,000 rebate wants to do so by focusing on solar panels to reduce and save the 40%, can they do that? I think I'm understanding the question correctly, but let me know if I didn't quite capture it. Currently, renewables aren't approved for this program, so PG&E has an individual measure rebate for solar panels, but it's not currently an eligible upgrade measure for the PG&E Whole House Rebate Program. A homeowner can apply for the solar rebate through PG&E, but currently that's not an eligible measure for the Whole House Rebate Program. There's another question: is there a cost to get listed on the statewide website? There is no cost to the contractor, no monetary cost. You do have to become enrolled, and that takes some time. You have to collect documents. You have to submit proof of your certifications. Any employees with access to homes have to be background checked, and we'll review those enrollment requirements during the enrollment section. So there's no monetary cost to getting listed on the statewide portal for participating contractors. There is a question about the eligibility requirements and qualifications. We will be reviewing that in the enrollment and qualification section shortly later on in the program. And that's it for now. So we can go ahead and proceed with contractor snapshots.
Can we answer all that? I'll make some.
Yeah.
Answers? Okay.
No, they're not all answered.
Okay.
Okay, so I'd like to spend some time reviewing some contractors that are currently enrolled in the program that have been able to integrate this rebate program into their existing business model and find success. Before we do that, I would like to review some program statistics. These are current as of May, but I'd like to just update you with new statistics. We'll be updating the slides later on this month. So as of June, there were 231 participating contractors, so that's up about 30 since March. There were 2,900 jobs in the pipeline. We're currently at 3,700, and about 2,800 of those have been approved for a rebate. The average advanced and basic job costs still hover around $14,000 and $5,000, with the average energy savings around 30%. So those last couple of statistics are still are still correct. So in terms of participation, we really have a relatively low number of participating contractors in the program. We do encourage new enrollment, and we hope that reviewing some of these contractor snapshots will give you an idea of what existing business models work for these successful contractors. I do want to take a moment to just review something we call the pathway to home performance. We've identified some key milestones that participating contractors have utilized to find success. Home performance certifications like Building Performance Institute are essential for training, and they're actually required for this PG&E Whole House Rebate Program. A BPI certified professional has to complete the combustion appliance safety testing, or a professional from a BPI certified company. We'll get more into that during the eligibility section of the presentation. But that training and that education is really essential to becoming a participating contractor and then starting your first couple of home performance jobs. And that really should be something that's taken company-wide. So these are this is a way to begin training your entire staff and your entire company with on home performance. There are some common business models that we see here in the PG&E Whole House Rebate Program. The first one is a collaboration between raters and subcontractors, where they partner to provide rebates to homeowners. We are working on identifying and offering networking opportunities for raters and contractors, so that stuff is forthcoming. And we are currently developing a rater participation pathway to engage HERS whole house raters that are BPI certified into this program. So just know that that stuff is forthcoming, and you can access that information once it's available on our website. Our website, this is what we call the contractor portal, is buildagreenutility.org. We'll show a link to it later in the presentation, but once again, it's buildagreenutility.org. There's another business model that seems to be common, one of a general contractor who subs out some work, like a general contractor who's primarily subbing out specialties like HVAC and insulation. By far the most common business model is a home performance contractor, so someone that is completely integrated home performance into their company. They've converted their company, they've instead of, or they've added a division that's dedicated to home performance, and they've been able to offer home performance and this rebate program to their customers. This is information that we hope you'll consider when trying to enroll into this program, because this program unfortunately isn't for everybody. It does take a lot of time and effort to be enrolled, but then there is the job submission process that can take some time. So we'll proceed now into contractor snapshots, and I'd like to start with ABC Cooling and Heating in Fresno. They are primarily an HVAC contractor that started in home performance to differentiate themselves from their competitors. They established a home performance division in November of 2011, I think, and they found that it was a very successful month for them when they started. They began by reaching out to their existing customer base, and they utilized these maintenance agreements that they had with current customers, and they introduced this idea of home performance to that existing customer base. And right away, they began replacing systems that weren't broken. So they were able to reduce seasonality by reaching out to that existing customer base, and it was more successful because they had the rebate to back them up. Most importantly, the thing that I wanted to emphasize is the company didn't change much. They did establish the home performance division, but they are still ABC Cooling and Heating. They just succeeded in leveraging that existing customer base and introducing them to this new market of home performance. The next contractor I'd like to feature is Brower Mechanical. This is another HVAC company that was interested in home performance, primarily to improve the comfort of people's homes. And as a result of participating in the rebate program, they had their busiest month in the company's history, June 2011, when they, the year that they first started selling this rebate program. They were able to successfully introduce the rebate program to homeowners and get them excited about it as well. They found that the incentives are helpful in promoting home performance, but also in validating the upgrades that they proposed. And we hope that as participating contractors, you utilize us as well as some of our subcontractors as advocates for the program, but also for home performance and for your home performance division. The next contractor I'd like to feature is Advanced Home Energy. They were primarily an insulation and weatherization company that expanded into home performance to avoid being the low-cost bidder. And this company has benefited from that added value of energy improvements realized by their homeowners. They have been able to expand their crew size and the overall size of their job as well. You'll see there that the slide depicts that they originally had one crew and their jobs averaged about $1,500 for each job. They've expanded to 7 crews. I think that may even be greater now, with the average job hovering upwards of $7,000. I do hope that this information, that you find this information very informational, because we do also get feedback from contractors about this program being very difficult to market, and I do want to highlight that the picture off into the lower right-hand corner is of the owner of Advanced Home Energy reaching out to members of a homeowners association about reducing their energy consumption and lowering the cost of their utility bills. PG&E is offering or is developing a marketing program, but it still hasn't been released. We do want to encourage contractors that are interested in this program that sometimes it does require a little work to educate homeowners about home performance, but also about the program as well. The next contractor I'd like to feature is Hartman & Baldwin. And this is a remodeler that was inspired to integrate building science principles into their work. They offer clients room additions and lower utility bills, sometimes without even replacing existing equipment, but simply calculating loads and efficiently delivering air to different areas of the home. So this is really an example of contractors utilizing existing resources and potentially saving those homeowners money during the remodeling process. The last contractor, or actually no, the next contractor I'd like to feature is Green Home Solutions by Groupie. They established Green Home Solutions in 2000. They launched a zero energy community in 2006 and created this subdivision to focus on energy efficiency and solar in existing homes. And they did this primarily because new construction sort of decreased once the economy changed shortly after that zero energy community was established. And they utilized this rebate program to really educate homeowners on the benefits of upgrading a home, and they've been able to find success as a result. They improved the quality of their construction staff. They offer training in home performance, which is one of the goals of Energy Upgrade California. And they have managed to stay relevant in a really tough economy. The final contracting company, or I guess I should say collaboration, is Energy Centrics. This is a partnership of a number of participating contractors, or some of them aren't actually participating. They have been approved for the program, but they are collaborating with other participating contractors that are approved. And they pool their marketing resources to better serve homeowners in their area. So this is an example of a really unique business model based on collaboration of specialty contractors that was started, I think, by an insulation company. So here's another business model that we don't see much of, but it may be a way to collectively advertise and save some of that advertising money by sharing the resources between many contractors. So in summary, this rebate program can serve as a tool for increasing the volume of jobs, but it really depends on how well a company can integrate it into either a new business model or an existing business model. The current rebate program is set to go through 2012, and it's very important that contractors make the decision to participate that isn't solely based on rebates. So we are expecting an announcement from the Public Utilities Commission and the Energy Commission to expand the program through 2014. That announcement is expected in the fourth quarter, and that information will come directly from PG&E to us. And as soon as we know, we hope to notify contractors. The investor-owned utilities have all expressed an intent to extend the program for 5 years or even 10 years. And as I said, the PG&E has submitted their intent to extend the program, and we're just waiting to hear back from the Utilities Commission for confirmation. But once again, this rebate program is not for everyone. It is a tool that can be leveraged to increase the customer base for a company and increase the ticket value, but it's only really good if it's utilized correctly. I do just want to stress that that you think about it and execute this program wisely. So there are some comprehension questions associated with this section. I'll read through them and then provide you with some time to think about the answers. What is the average job cost for jobs in this program? What is the average energy savings of a project? If I'm a contractor, how do I get involved? How do I team up with other contractors? If I'm a rater, how do I get involved in the program? And if I'm just starting out in home performance or unsure if this is for me, how do I get involved? So I will give you all some time to review those questions and come up with some answers.
And feel free to ask other questions too right now in the chat box. We're kind of at the inflection point in the presentation where we're going to go into the next section. So we're going to have a brief time for questions after this, I believe. And then we're going to go into like the how. So that was the why.
So the average job cost can really vary between, it depends on whether you're doing basic or advanced jobs. Most of the contractors that participate in this program find that the advanced package is what makes sense for their customers, and the average job cost hovers around $14,000. The basic job cost hovers around $5,000. The average energy savings of a project is around 30%, and that's been consistent throughout the program term since we've administered the program, so that's since June 2011. You can get involved as a participating contractor by visiting our website, builditgreenutility.org, and reviewing some of the program enrollment qualifications. We'll be discussing this shortly in our presentation. How do I team up with other contractors? We do offer networking opportunities. Our most recent one is one in San Jose that we're holding on Thursday. We just held one in Santa Rosa on Tuesday of last week. All of our events are posted on our event calendar. Our website, again, is builditgreenutility.org. And if you click on our events page, you'll be able to see the calendar of events. All of those events, we offer opportunities for networking, and that may be something that you as a contractor are interested in participating in. We do encourage rater enrollment, and we're currently developing a rater participation pathway to help raters get involved in the program. Currently, raters can offer their services by partnering with participating contractors. We are also hoping to expand the number of networking opportunities for raters and contractors to meet. That was previously served by some counties when there was funding available, but we are trying to increase the number of networking opportunities between raters and contractors. And if you're just starting out in home performance, and if you're unsure if this is for you, there are some organizations that offer informational seminars and webinars for home performance. I just attended one for HVAC contractors this morning. It was put on by an organization called Efficiency First, which is an organization established to benefit contractors in home performance. But there are other organizations like EGIA, the Electric and Gas Industries Association, that offer resources for contractors just starting out in the industry. So are there any questions, Matt, that were submitted that we can review now?
Yeah, feel free to ask your questions now about any of the why. Why would you get involved? Is there a cost to the assessment? This is a question. Is there a cost to the assessment? If there is, what is it?
Okay, so the assessments are part of what we call the process. So we'll review that process shortly. So ideally, a participating contractor would be contacted by an interested homeowner, and a participating contractor, in order to offer this PG&E rebate to them, would have to do a test and assessment. So they'd have to get a baseline of how the house currently performs before the upgrade. They'd propose a scope of work, upgrade the home, and then do a corresponding test out. And those tested and test outs include whole house tests like blower door and duct leakage testing, as well as combustion appliance safety testing. We'll discuss more of all of that in more detail during the job submission process section. But that cost is usually, it varies by contractor. So a contractor can choose to bill a homeowner for the assessment separately. Let's say if they're only interested in the assessment and not the actual upgrade. Or the contractor can include the cost of the assessment in the cost of the upgrade itself. Some contractors partner with raters, and the rater charges a separate fee, but we don't require one business model over another. Once you're approved as a participating contractor, you decide who pays that cost, and you can negotiate those terms with the homeowner, other contractors, or subcontractors if necessary. Any other questions?
No other questions right now. So
great. So we'll continue on to the program scope. Matt, would you like to take over?
Sure. Okay. Moving on. Okay, the second half of the presentation, we're going to go into how to participate, and that'll involve talking about the rebate program, contractor enrollment process, and requirements, and the job reporting and rebate application overview, and then also the field mentoring and quality assurance piece. All this will become clear shortly. So the rebate program scope. So the property owner eligibility, as we mentioned earlier, is PG&E gas or electric customer, no propane, single-family detached and 2 to 4 unit residences, existing homes, not new construction, and property owners do not need to reside in the home. And then we also talked about the homeowners in overlapping utility territories receiving prorated rebates. So that's a really important point. If you think you might be in overlapping utility area, I would do a little research and find out if you are, because if you're selling these jobs to homeowners in those areas, you want to know that so you can set the right expectations. The rebate scope does not cover, so the PG&E whole house rebates do not cover new homes, commercial or multifamily properties, single measures, so just swapping out a HVAC unit. Water efficiency and solar are also not covered explicitly, although there are elements to water heating in the program.
Yeah, water heating and
installation. But and then the idea of no double dipping is really important. So what that means is you can't collect 2 rebates from PG&E for the same improvement. So if an HVAC unit was replaced as a prescriptive measure, and the homeowner got a rebate for that, you can't include that in the scope of work for this rebate program. Hope that makes sense. Okay, the basic upgrade package, what is it? Well, the homeowner receives $1,000 if they do all of these things. And the so it's air sealing, attic insulation, duct sealing, hot water pipe insulation. Combustion appliance safety is part of every single job we do, so that's a really important one. Carbon monoxide monitors are really important too, so safety is of the utmost importance with all this stuff, I'll just say. And then low flow shower head is recommended, and thermostatic control valve. So we can go into more of that if you'd like, but those are the standards on the right. And the advanced upgrade package is a little bit more complicated, as its name suggests. Anything goes, essentially, within some bounds. You complete the energy assessment to determine that baseline condition of the home. Then you select a combination of upgrade measures that you're going to do, and you negotiate that with the homeowner. And you're going for between 15 and 40% savings in your energy model. And then we do recommend that you complete the basic package measures, since a lot of those are really kind of the meat and potatoes, if you will, of home performance. But you're free to meet that energy savings in the way that you see fit, and that meets the homeowner needs. We'll get into this, but the advanced upgrade package requires a B license. So really, it's kind of like the general contracting. Anything can go in this one. And then you conduct your follow-up assessment to confirm the energy savings and the rebate. So that's an overview. Other whole house incentives that you could layer on top of the whole house rebate program would be these ones, although some of them are gone with this ERA funding going away. So best place to look at that is probably your local cities and governments, I would think, and do some research.
Yeah, I don't know if we defined ARA. So ARA is the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. There were federal funds designated for programs like these, and local governments and local municipalities use them to offer additional rebates for homeowners that participated in this rebate program. So currently a lot of those have expired, but those local municipalities are trying to, and local governments are trying to secure additional funds. So I know Fresno has secured additional funds for assessment rebates. So they're offering rebates for contractors that complete energy assessments that test in and test out. But in addition to the PG&E whole house rebate, there's still appliance rebates. PG&E offers rebates for certain appliances, and that information can be found on their website. And then there's federal tax credits. We're not the best source of information for those additional rebates because we only administer the PG&E rebate program. But oftentimes, local governments have dedicated representatives for these rebate programs that they can answer questions.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for adding the assessment rebates on there, because I think we need to add that on that slide. Comprehension questions. I'll let you read these, and please enter your questions on the right if you have them right now. Kind of the scope of the rebate program is what we just talked about. So what type of property owners are eligible for this program? Is propane eligible? Well, you should be able to answer that. So it's single family and 2 to 4 units, existing homes, no propane, no solar.
Yeah, and propane, the presence of propane unfortunately excludes homeowners from participating. The only exception is if a homeowner wants to go all electric. But sometimes the cost of going all electric doesn't make sense, financial sense. So unfortunately, propane on the premises usually excludes homeowners altogether.
So the second question, what is typical work scope of the basic upgrade package? You should know that. Air sealing, attic insulation, ducts, and those other measures, which you will have a list of. So you basically go through them all.
Yeah, and I do want to mention that on our website, buildagreenutility.org, there is a There's a resources, there's a document library resource, and we have a contractor handbook, and those list of measures and approved measures for the advanced package are all listed in that handbook. So that is a resource that you can refer to if you forget what measures are required for the basic package, or what measures, or if you're interested in knowing what measures are eligible for the advanced package.
What is the typical work scope of the advanced upgrade package? Well, it's based on modeled energy savings, so you kind of negotiate what you want to, really. But a lot of them we see contain air sealing, duct sealing, and attic insulation. Not all of them, not all on the same job necessarily, but I think if yeah. So know that, and then HVAC, furnaces, some windows, some various other things. But it's kind of what you want. That'll reach those energy savings in Energy Pro. And then how does the program work in areas with joint utilities, SMUD and SoCalGas? This one is a little trickier, and it's nuanced between which utility area you're working in. So my recommendation is I would do some research before you get involved in this program, or during your enrollment process, about your utilities and who's providing in your the area you want to do this, sell these jobs. And I would do a little research to find that out, and then contact us if you have questions before you do the job. But essentially, the customer is going to get a prorated rebate. But it might help because there's different nuances between what utility. So feel free to call us before you get to that stage of waiting for the check in the mail, ideally. I think this is you, right?
Yeah, so we'll go into the how to enroll section. I do want to answer some questions that were submitted regarding incentives. If a city has a program that is not part of Energy Upgrade of California, can the homeowner apply for both? Yes, the homeowner can take advantage of both rebate programs. The only thing a homeowner cannot do, or the only thing that PG&E won't do, is they won't pay a homeowner twice for the same rebate, for the same upgrade. But if you get a rebate from PG&E for an air conditioning, a high-efficiency HVAC system, and then your city also offers a rebate for a high-efficiency HVAC system, the homeowner can qualify for both. We only represent the PG&E whole house rebate program, so make sure you check with your local government regarding the eligibility requirements for their program. But yes, homeowners can qualify for multiple rebate programs under Energy Upgrade California.
And just make sure they're a PG&E customer, though. Some cities have their own utilities. So I think Palo Alto might be one of them, but there might be others that I'm not aware of.
Another question that we'll discuss in the enrollment section is how long does it take for a contractor to become approved for the PG&E whole house rebate program? It really depends on the size of the company, of the number of employees. We'll discuss in a moment what the required documentation is, as well as some of the steps to the enrollment. A small company can do it in less than 5 business days, and that's assuming the longest part of the enrollment process is the background checks, because we have to complete a background check for all employees that have access to customer homes, and that can take anywhere from 3 to 5 business days. So if you submit an authorization to have that background check completed while you're filling out the application, it could take a week. But if you forget to access the release, or if you have trouble getting insurance documentations, it can take much longer. We'll go through the enrollment steps shortly. There's another question, will a forced air unit replacement only meet the advanced package? Yes, if you're doing any kind of replacement, a system replacement, you'd want to go for the advanced package. But unfortunately, if you do that system replacement and you don't meet the minimum required savings, which is 15%, the job doesn't qualify. So most contractors bundle some of these improvements. So they'll do a system replacement on top of duct insulation, building leakage, a reduction in building leakage and air sealing, and that gets them the 15%, the minimum 15% or more. The last question I'll address before we move on to the how to enroll is, if you switch to all electric, does that include the cooktop too? So I'm assuming they're referring to propane homes. Yeah, the home cannot have propane on the premises. So if you have like a propane appliance in the backyard, that's not what we're referring to. If the cooktop is propane, you'll have to replace the cooktop as well. The home cannot be serviced by propane. It has to be switched to all electric in order to qualify for the rebate program.
Great. I think you're going to, Emily's going to do the section.
Yeah, so I'll continue now with the how to enroll section. So becoming a participating contractor can be summarized in these 5 steps. We'll go through each of them individually now. So step 1 is attend a mandatory participation workshop. I do want to congratulate you all. You are on your way to becoming an energy upgrade contractor. This is the first step, attending a participation workshop. Step 2 is to meet the program eligibility requirements. Those eligibility requirements are different depending on your certifications and what you as a participating contractor want to offer your customers. So we do have two upgrade packages. The first is the basic upgrade package. The second is the advanced upgrade package. By far, most contractors are utilizing the advanced upgrade package. But I would like to begin with the basic upgrade package. For that package, contractors have to either have a general BU license, or they can have a combination of a C2 and a C20 licenses, and that includes insulation and HVAC. And they have to attend the basic and the advanced technical trainings. We'll discuss the details of those trainings shortly. The advanced upgrade package requires a B license, so contractors have to have a B license in order to sub out some of the work that they themselves might not be able to do. And they are also required to take the advanced package technical training, but they're not required to take that basic package technical training. It is strongly recommended that those trainings be complete, but an advanced upgrade package contractor has to have a Building Performance Institute building analyst on staff, and that building analyst has to take the advanced technical training. So once again, the contractor license requirements are a Class B license, or in the case of a basic upgrade package contractor, you can have a combination of a C2 and C20 license. The insurance requirements are pretty standard for most contracting companies. You have to have minimum insurance coverage that includes commercial and general liability, and you have to name Build It Green and PG&E as additionally insured. There should be business automobile liability, assuming that you have a company car, and workers' compensation if you have employees. There needs to be 2 years of relevant work experience documented, and this is typically documented in the form of 2-year history for the CSLB license, or proof that a business is BPI accredited with 2 years of similar work experience, and 2 professional references can also be accepted. We included a second option for startup companies or companies that branched from a bigger company like a home performance subdivision. There also needs to be an agreement to the program terms and conditions, and one of the terms is that no employee or subcontractor with access to customer homes, no contractor has been convicted within the last 7 years of a felony, and that includes driving under the influence. Step 3 is complete the enrollment application process. So once you're ready to enroll, you visit our contractor portal, builditgreenutility.org, and you complete the online enrollment process by clicking on the yellow All Contractors Manage Account and Enroll. You'll see that button circled in red off to the right-hand side of this screen. Once again, the website is builditgreenutility.org. And to start your enrollment application, you click on All Contractors Manage Account and Enroll. This this is a screenshot of the enrollment login. If you're a new user, you'd fill out your email address, confirm it, and then submit a password to sign up. If you're a returning member, you can log in using the login off to the left. New contractors can start their application and save it, and then return at a later time to submit their documentation. Here is a list of the documentation required for the enrollment process. This information will be emailed to you in the form of a slide deck, so you'll have access to this documentation checklist after the presentation. But there's quite a bit of information that you'll have to submit, so hopefully you'll find this checklist useful. Contractor Services is available to take those enrollment questions, and their customer service telephone number is at the bottom of the screen. We do want to summarize the verification process. Once you submit your application, it will automatically be in a pending status. It'll undergo review once all of the documentation is submitted and all of the background checks have been completed. We haven't had many contractors be denied, but if all the documentation is not submitted or an enrollment application is inactive, we can change that status to not approved. Access to application files are really limited to just the administrators of the program, so that includes Build-A-Green, PG&E, and Contractor Services at EGIA. Contractor Services can be reached at this customer service telephone number at the bottom. They can be contacted for questions regarding the enrollment process, but they also have an email address, enrollment@buildagreenutility.org. They're pretty responsive. I think they have high volume during lunchtime, but typically responses are sent within 24 hours. Step 4 is take the required trainings and certifications. So for the basic upgrade package, basic contractors are required to take the basic upgrade package technical training. We'll summarize what this training is shortly. And they're also required to take the advanced upgrade package technical training. This is usually this requirement is usually completed by the BPI building analyst that's completing the combustion appliance safety test. So I think we may have stated this earlier. A Building Performance Institute building analyst or a professional from a BPI certified, a BPI accredited company has to complete all of the combustion appliance safety testing. For the advanced upgrade package, the basic technical training is only recommended, but it's not required. But the advanced upgrade package technical training is, and once again, that's usually fulfilled by the BPI building analyst completing the combustion appliance safety testing. The only other difference between the basic and advanced upgrade package contractors is advanced upgrade package contractors have to have that BPI analyst on staff, and that's the analyst that takes the advanced upgrade package technical training and performs the combustion appliance safety testing. For basic contractors, that BPI analyst is typically not on staff, but they do have to take the technical training. The basic upgrade package technical training is a 3-day classroom and field training that discusses building science and the home performance approach. It combines classroom and hands-on field instruction, and it's typically required for those non-PPI certified contractors. Typically the lead installers and the project supervisors attend, but anyone can attend. It's a good class for even those BPI certified contractors. And it serves as an introduction to advanced building performance training. Oh, one thing I wanted to say about the basic upgrade package technical training is that it's currently held in Stockton. And so it's currently held in Stockton. The advanced upgrade package technical training is a 1-day workshop, and this is where we review the augmented BPI combustion appliance safety protocols and the action guidelines. It also includes duct testing procedures that are not covered by Building Performance Institute. And this advanced upgrade package technical training is required for all those BPI building analysts completing the combustion appliance safety testing. So whether you're approved for the basic package or the advanced, all of the BPI analysts or professionals completing the BPI, the combustion appliance safety testing have to take that training. We've mentioned BPI a couple of times. BPI is the Building and Performance Institute. They are a nationally recognized professional certification provider, and they have standards for home performance. They offer professional certifications for individuals but also companies, and you can learn more from their website, www.bpi.org. There are California-based training providers. Build a Green is one of them. Unfortunately, we're currently not offering BPI training, but there are organizations across California that offer those trainings. If you visit bpi.org and then select their training options, you can find training providers in your area. The final step is approve and begin selling jobs. So after all the steps 1 through 4 have been completed, the contractor is provided with a username and a password to Green Energy Compass, as well as the Energy Upgrade California statewide website. Contractors can submit jobs for review on Compass. They can access resources on the statewide website, energyupgradeca.org, and you're all set to start selling jobs for the rebate program. We'll take a moment to review some comprehension questions. I'll read them now and give you some time to reflect on them. The first one is, what are the eligibility requirements for enrollment? The next one is, what is covered in the basic upgrade package technical training and how long is the training? What is covered in the advanced upgrade package technical training and how long is that training? Where do I start my enrollment application? And how long does it take to get enrolled in the program? So take a minute to review those questions, think of some answers, and we'll discuss the answers shortly. So we'll review the answers to the comprehension questions shortly. Right now. What are the eligibility requirements for enrollment? So those are those 5 steps we discussed earlier. Attend a participation workshop, which you all are doing now. Meet the eligibility requirements. You can actually find those on page 9 of our contractor handbook. The handbook is available on our website, buildagreenutility.org, under resources. Just select the document library and you'll see the contractor handbook at the top of the page. The third step is start that application. So you would visit our website, buildagreenutility.org, and you click on the All Contractors Manage Account yellow button to start your enrollment application online. You then take the required training, so that's step 4, and finally step 5 is get approved to sell the rebates. The next question is, what is covered in the basic upgrade package technical training and how long is that training? That basic technical training is a 3-day training that's typically held in Stockton, and it's an overview of building science principles. Next question is, what is covered in the advanced upgrade package technical training and how long is that training? So that advanced technical training is 1 day. It's held in either Stockton or San Francisco, and it covers augmented BPI safety protocols approved for this program, and it also covers duct testing procedures that's not covered by BPI. Those technical training, the information for the technical training can be found on page 11 of the contractor handbook. Once again, you can access the contractor handbook from our document library by visiting buildagreenutility.org, selecting resources, and then finding the contractor handbook on our document library. The next question is, where do I start my enrollment application? You visit our website, buildagreenutility.org, and click on the yellow All Contractors Manage Account and Enroll button to start your application. You can save your application and come back to it at a later time. But once again, you visit buildagreenutility.org and click on the yellow button to start your application. How long does it take to get enrolled in the program? That really depends on the size of your company, on the number of employees, and how quickly you can get documentation to us for review. There is quite a bit of information that you have to submit as a contractor trying to enroll, but Contractor Services is available to take your questions. They are pretty responsive. They do experience some high volume during like lunchtime, but typically contractors can get questions answered rather quickly. So we'll proceed now to the job submission and rebate processing section. We'll stop to take any questions and review the answers for questions submitted during that last section. Matt, do you want to review some of those questions?
Sure. When will there be another class for the advanced package?
Off the top of my head, I don't remember. We offer those every month. Do you have the...
I can bring that up and I'll call that out in a second. But the other question is verification of subcontractors, employees for convictions. How is this done for subcontractors in particular?
So any subcontractors, okay, so let me start over. So the question, I think, is how are background checks conducted for subcontractors and employees with access to customer homes. So when you apply as to our program, you'll submit a list of employees, preferably those employees that have access to customer homes, because those will be the ones that we initiate the background check on. Contractor Services will provide you with an authorization to run that background report, and a contractor will have to get a signature from every employee that we have to run a background check on. Once all of those are signed, they're submitted back to Contractor Services, and we have a third party called TalentWise. It's a company that does background checks, and we subcontract with them to run background checks on your subcontractors. Hopefully that's not too confusing. We've made accommodations for contractors that have concerns about employee private information. So we do try our best to work with contractors on getting that information back in a timely fashion. Representatives at Contractor Services can assist you with any aspect of that enrollment application, but that's typically how it works. We send you a form to have your employees sign. Each employee signs one of those release forms, and then we initiate the background check. The background check is done across 50 states, and it goes back 7 years. And because it goes back so far, and because it's state by state, it will take anywhere between 3 and 5 business days to complete. So I hope that answers the question, and if I didn't, please let us know. We can speak offline. You can give us a call. We'll have our phone number posted up shortly. Any other questions?
Well, I'll just answer when the next advanced training. It's on July 27th. So you'll go to builditgreenutility.org/calendar, or you can just find the events page, and you can sign up there. The next basic training will be on August 6th through the 8th. So that's a 3-day training, or 2.5-day training. And that's a really good introduction to home performance, building science. So I think it's a good one to go to, and they're all free. So how do you become a rater? This is one that I'm probably not the best equipped to answer, and I don't know if Melina is either, but we can get back to you on that one.
Yeah,
I'm noting it down.
Yeah, so for our upcoming rater participation pathway, that program is for HERS 2 whole house raters that are BPI certified. If you're not a HERS rater already, you'd want to contact the certifying body, which currently is CalCerts. I don't have CalCerts' website off the top of my head, but I imagine it's
CalCerts.org.
Yeah, I imagine it's CalCerts.org. If you Google CalCerts, they are, I think they're currently the only HERS certifier, but I could be wrong. But that would be the organization to reach out to regarding HERS certifications and the rater certification that you're interested in. If you're interested in the rater participation pathway for this rebate program, is the HERS 2 certification.
And you're going to want to be BPI as well.
And you're going to want
to go to bpi.org as well and see how to get that certification. So yeah, it's calcerts.com actually. I'm sending it out. I'll send those websites out in the chat box.
And we'll also include the CalCerts website in the email we send to attendees later this week.
That's all the questions.
Great. So we'll proceed into this next section, job submission and rebate processing. So the job submission process can be summarized in the following 6 steps. We'll go through each of them individually now. The first step is a site assessment. Ideally, a participating contractor, once approved, would set up a time to interview the homeowner or the occupant to collect preliminary job data. You'd perform that initial assessment. You do those diagnostic verification tests that typically include the whole house, the blower door test and the duct blaster test. You'd also complete the combustion appliance safety testing, and you would define a scope of work and review it with the homeowner to make sure that it addresses any immediate safety concerns as well as any concerns that the homeowner has regarding comfort, safety, health, or energy usage. You then develop an Energy Pro model for those advanced jobs, and you complete the data collection requirements for the PG&E rebate program. We do want to make a note about combustion appliance safety testing. This is a safety and liability issue for contractors as well as for PG&E. We require the BPI certification because we want to make sure that BPI certified professionals or professionals from BPI accredited companies complete that combustion appliance safety testing per the augmented protocols. Those protocols are reviewed during the advanced training. This combustion appliance safety testing has to be completed at the pre and the post-installation, so that is before the work is done and after the work is done, and should be tested each day that when air sealing or duct sealing work is completed. It is required for both basic and advanced upgrade jobs. And once again, we do discuss the augmented BPI combustion appliance safety protocols in the advanced training. That's that one-day workshop. There is also a note we want to make regarding the energy modeling software. Currently, the approved energy modeling software is Energy Pro. The current version is 5.1. And the module that you want to have to calculate rebates for this program is the residential performance module. You'd purchase the interface, which is commonly abbreviated IM4, and the residential performance module that's abbreviated RM4 through EnergySoft, and their website is energysoft.com. Once again, you purchase the interface, which is IM1, and the residential performance module RM4. The approximate cost is $500, and we recommend that the modeling be performed by a trained and proficient energy modeler, either on staff or subcontractor. That can be a HERS 1 or HERS 2 rater. It could be anyone else that's familiar with the software. It isn't a requirement. It's just something that we strongly recommend. We often have to return job submissions to contractors for revisions because the modeling isn't done correctly. We do offer some Energy Pro modeling support, but we do have limited resources. We try to assist contractors with jobs that they have submitted currently in Compass in order to address any immediate concerns. But once again, Energy Pro is the current energy modeling software approved for this program. Step 2 is the job submission for the pre-installation application. This is what we call Test In. The online job submission and reporting is done in Green Energy Compass, or Compass for short, and it's accessed from the contractor portal. When you visit buildagreenutility.org, you would click on the blue button that's participating contractors, and you'll attain access to the contractor Compass. You submit all the required documentation, which we'll review on the next slide, and that documentation undergoes a quality assurance desktop review. Technical aspects of the application are reviewed, like the scope of work, the baseline conditions, and the modeling. And then the application undergoes an administrative review where we validate the PG&E account, make sure that the BPI analyst is eligible to do the CAS testing, and that usually takes 3 business days. Once that review is done, a notice is issued by quality assurance admin staff, and that notice to proceed is sort of like a reservation of funds. It's not a guarantee of a rebate, because the rebate really can't be guaranteed until we know what actually was installed, and we don't know that until the test out. The pre-installation data collection documents are summarized here. The difference between the basic and the advanced upgrade package is that the Energy Pro models are required for the advanced upgrade package. Everything else is pretty consistent. We do encourage contractors to always provide supplemental information like utility data, photos, building permits. Actually, the building permit is required on test out for the advanced upgrade package. And we made a change to the advanced upgrade package job data collection requirements. The first one, job data collection form. In response to contractors, we've eliminated that document from the advanced upgrade package requirements. It's still required for basic, but not required for advanced. But once again, the major difference is the Energy Pro modeling that's required for advanced, but not required for basic. Step 3 is perform the work. So once you get issued the notice to proceed, you would execute the contract with the homeowner. Ideally, you pull all the necessary permits and you complete the installation measures per that approved scope of work. We can accommodate changes to the scope of work. That's contract that happens all the time. If you do change the scope of work, you just have to notify us on the test out by submitting some kind of change order, some kind of signed change order, or a modified signed contract, as well as update all of your modeling so that you're taking credit for the correct upgrades. Step 4 is the post-installation assessment. Once the upgrade work is completed, you would redo those diagnostic verification tests. You'd complete the combustion appliance safety tests. You'd update your Energy Pro models with those test-out results. If your scope of work changed, you would also change your Energy Pro model, but also submit a revised signed contract or a change order. And then you would complete the post-installation rebate request. You'd submit all of the required documentation to Green Energy Compass, and then that application would undergo a desktop review. The technical aspects of the application would be reviewed. Then the administrative review would be completed to make sure that the account holder information was correct, that the rebate amount was correct. And then in addition, we do something called a CAS check, a combustion appliance safety check. It's a phone call to homeowners to confirm that the combustion appliance safety test was completed. We've also created a form called a CAS acknowledgement form that contractors can present to homeowners once the combustion appliance safety tests are completed at test out, so that they remember or that they know that the tests were done. Once this desktop review is completed, the rebate approval is issued by admin staff to contractors, and the documentation is submitted to PG&E for rebate processing. This is a list of post-installation data collection requirements. Once again, the major difference between the advanced and basic is the Energy profiles. Other than that, we did eliminate the job data collection form from the advanced upgrade package. We'll make sure to update these slides. But everything is pretty consistent except for the modeling that's required for the advanced. The homeowner is issued a rebate, and once that information is sent to PG&E for processing, they are emailed a survey to review their participation in the program. But in addition, Build It Green as well as PG&E's Central Inspection Unit contact the homeowners and see if they'll agree to a field verification inspection. So this is where Build It Green or PG&E staff visit the homeowner if they agree to it and review the installation measures installed, as well as redo some of the testing. There are tips for streamlining this job submission process. There are a lot of forms. Most of them you provide, so like the scope of work, the Energy Pro model, the permit. That's all stuff that you or your subcontractors will collect. It's just a matter of collecting all the information and submitting it. We'll provide what we call the test measurements form, where you'll record the whole house combustion appliance safety test as well, the whole house testing as well as the combustion appliance safety testing, and something we call the job reporting template that's currently required for basic jobs. We do encourage contractors to read all the directions and follow all the directions to ensure that the forms are accurate. Make sure that you complete all the data collection requirements. Don't leave any field blanks, any fields blank, because then we don't know if you didn't test or if that value is actually 0. Accurately model all the building features in Energy Pro. We do encourage entering utility bill history, but it's currently not required. Take pictures whenever you can. It's a good practice for contractors to have, because you can use those pictures if a homeowner is confused about a certain upgrade, or if something occurred and the homeowner wants verification of a change. We do ask contractors to provide job notes and sketches for any unique building features or any potential areas of confusion. When you submit the documents, we don't know as much as you know. You and your subcontractors have visited the home, and we need notations of any anomalies, because if we don't have the information, then unfortunately we have to return the application to the contractor for revisions. And ideally, we'd like to get these applications in and approve them the first time. So if you have questions, or if you come across any unique building features, you can note them, or you can contact us and ask us what to do. Our contact information will be posted at the end of this presentation. And then finally, double check all your work before submitting. It's happened before where contractors submit the incorrect documents for a home, and it's sometimes confusing for a quality assurance reviewer, because the job scopes for these jobs are sometimes quite similar, and not the model and not all the forms sometimes have the wrong information. So just to avoid any confusion, double check all your work before submitting. Please take a moment now to review these comprehension questions. I'll read them aloud and then give you some time to think about the answers. What is combustion appliance safety testing? When should contractors complete this testing? What protocols do contractors follow when completing testing and test-out assessments? What modeling software is approved for the program? How are the basic and advanced upgrade job submission requirements different? Where do I submit my job? And what are the action guidelines, and where do I find them? So please take a moment to review these questions. We'll review the answers shortly. So we'll take some time now to review the answers to these questions. The first one is, what is combustion safety testing? This is testing on combustion appliances to check for proper combustion as well as proper venting of combustible gases. The contractors should complete this combustion appliance safety testing before any of the work is done to assure that the home is safe. And then after the home is done, after the upgrade work is done, to confirm that the home is left in a safe condition. So that's the answer for number 2. The testing is done before and after the upgrade. What protocols do contractors follow when completing those assessments? Contractors are required to follow the augmented BPI protocols, which are reviewed during the advanced training, the advanced technical training. This is a one-day training that's held in either Stockton or San Francisco. Those protocols are the ones that you follow when completing these testing and test-out assessments. The modeling software approved for the program is currently Energy Pro. You visit energysoft.com and download the latest version, which is 5.1. You would be required to purchase the interface, which is abbreviated IM1, and the residential performance module, which is abbreviated RM4. The basic and advanced upgrade job submission requirements differ, and it's pretty much that modeling requirement. So most of the required documentation is consistent between the basic and advanced. The exception is the Energy Pro models, which are required for the advanced jobs. And then we recently made a change. The job reporting template is currently required for the basic and not for the advanced. Contractors submit their jobs and their documentation to Green Energy Compass. You can access Green Energy Compass by visiting buildagreenutility.org and then clicking on the blue button, Participating Contractors, Submit and Track Jobs. What are the action guidelines and where do I find them? The action guidelines are these augmented DPI protocols that contractors utilize out in the field. These are the ones that are discussed during the advanced technical training. That's that one-day training. And you find them on the document library. Visit buildagreenutility.org, click on resources, and then click on document library to find the action guidelines under the job submission resources. That's a lot of information.
You guys awake?
Yeah, I hope so. So quality assurance is next, and Matt, I'll leave this section for you.
Okay.
After this, we'll review health and safety and any last-minute questions before closing the presentation.
Yeah, we're almost done, guys. So thanks for being patient and for being attentive. We appreciate it, and we're excited. Okay, so quality assurance. What is it? In this program, we want to ensure that you're doing good work. We're coming at it from the standpoint that we're trying to maintain high standards for consumer protection, project quality, building performance, and verifiable results. So we're assuming that you're doing good work, and we're hoping that that's the case. So these standards are put in place, these quality assurance measures, to build consumer confidence in this program and maximize homeowner satisfaction. The QA program is designed to be compliant with existing building performance programs and standards, such as the Building Performance Institute and the HERS, California Home Energy Rating System, stuff like that. Okay, so we want to make sure you're doing good work and also give you the right feedback. And we're also trying to evaluate the effectiveness of our training. So these are all kind of the mouthful, but that's kind of where we're coming from. Multiple consumer protections are in place to, as being part of this program. So we suggest you kind of use this to your advantage and, you use it as talking points with your customers. But essentially, contractors get screened and background checked and all that stuff to get into the program, so you might as well use it. We obviously review the job submissions to make sure that everything looks good on your models and your desktop submissions, your applications for rebate. And then we also go out to a select few of your jobs to make sure that the work is actually installed correctly. And then we also survey homeowners, and homeowners can obviously call us if they have any issues. So those are all different ways that consumers get protected and engage with us. And obviously you should be making sure that your customers are happy and safe. So this is our field verification process. It's a random sampling. You can kind of ignore Tier 0. We hope that you don't go down that path. But every contractor starts in Tier 1. We'll verify, we'll go out and check 3 of your first jobs and make sure that everything's good. We'll give you feedback and put it in a report. If there's anything you need to do, we'll let you know. And then you'll move up to Tier 2 and then Tier 3. So don't focus too much on this, but just know that this is all in place in the background. This is a big one that I would highly recommend taking advantage of. We have free field mentoring. So this can double as your test out, essentially. And you can get a pass on your test out. And so you want to give us some notice, but every contractor gets 5 free mentoring sessions. They're about a value of $500 because we'll come out and we'll train your crews, and we recommend you get all your analysts around, make a party of it. And so yeah, get in touch if you're interested in this. You can correct the deficiencies on the that day, and then get a pass, hopefully. So if there's something in this field verification visit that is not right, we'll ask you to correct it, and we ask that you do that in a timely fashion. So this is talking about something else, I think, actually. This is about how we kind of select field verification jobs besides the random sampling, I think. So this is how we kind of flag jobs to go out to visit, if besides the random sampling. Most of it's done randomly, but these are other issues that if they crop up, we may go out to the job site. So basically, if there's anomalies, or if the homeowner calls us, or isn't aware of the CAS test when we call them, or complains, that kind of thing. The inspection process when we do come out is to conduct a brief visual survey, assess that the measures that you said were new are indeed new. Like, so if you said you installed new attic insulation, we're probably going to go up to the attic and check that out. And then we compare the quality of your installs. We'll do some retests, so we'll do the blower door and the combustion appliance safety test and the duct test if that's applicable. And then we'll do a brief energy simulation. So we'll just review the inputs to your file, make sure that your model is built correctly. And then we'll validate the results and prepare a report noting how the measures could be improved. This report usually won't go to you unless something's wrong, I think. So just it's not for the contractor unless there's something to fix. But you'll obviously have that feedback loop to learn if something needs to be fixed. This is the scoring system for those field verification visits. I don't think you really need to know this, but these are in the slides if you want to take a closer look. Corrective action, we do have systems in place to kind of look at how contractors are doing over the course of time. So if you have a lot of failures, we might push you down into a lower tier, and what that means is we might sample a higher percentage of your jobs. If you're in tier 0, we'll sample all of them. So this is just kind of an annoying thing, so I would just suggest not going there. And how would you not go there? Well, I would contact us for mentoring in your first jobs. I would, before you go out to the homeowner, especially if you're new to home performance, I would maybe do your own house, get some jobs done, to get some of these upgrades under your belt so you know what you're doing, get the proper training for your staff. I think it's important to get all that in place before you just go out and start selling out in the marketplace, because there's obviously, safety is of paramount concern, and then also if something goes wrong, it's just going to cost you more time and money. It's going to be a headache for the homeowners if people have to go back to their home. So I would just get it right at the beginning, and we're going to support you in that process. So please contact us, and if you're wondering how to kind of get on-ramped into the program and more effective and doing better work, just start at the beginning. Reach out to us, and we'll try to help you with that. So what should you know about quality assurance? I'll read them out. What is the difference between desktop quality assurance review and field quality assurance, or field verification as we sometimes call it? What happens if my work is checked by a field verifier and I'm required to perform corrective action? How many free mentoring sessions do I get as an improved contractor? What does that entail? So you should be able to answer these. Are there any questions about quality assurance?
No, none was submitted, but I do encourage participating contracts. I do encourage you all to submit any questions regarding field quality assurance or mentoring. Now we'll review the comprehension questions in a moment.
We're nearing the last section or two.
Yeah.
Short ones, so bear with us. So the difference between desktop quality assurance and field quality assurance is essentially, the way to think about it is one is kind of your rebate application and energy model. This is what you submit to us, all your paperwork for each energy upgrade job. And there's a test in and a test out that you do. And you'll submit that through our IT system, and our desktop review quality assurance team will look at that, and they may bounce that back to you if something looks off. So you'll be submitting your paperwork in this IT system, and then hopefully at the end of that process, everything will work out and the homeowner will get their rebate. Now, once the job is done, then the field quality assurance comes into place, and we spot check a certain percentage of your jobs in the field and actually go out to them. So that's the difference. And the mentoring can tie in here nicely if you have a test out. So if you're closing out a job, you can do a combined mentoring and field quality assurance and all in one. So you can get some training and do the quality assurance piece. So what happens if my work is checked by a field verifier and I am required to perform corrective action? Well, essentially they're going to get in touch with you and say, something was installed in a certain way, or, you need to do this, or just some friendly feedback. This could have been done a little bit better. But if it's corrective action, you'll have to go out and fix it. And depending on the severity of the corrective action, if it's an imminent health and safety issue, like carbon monoxide, for instance, we're going to ask you to go out, that day. And so just be aware that, that could be a requirement. But if it's less of an issue, like not such a health and safety issue, well, we might just ask you to do it within a week or something. I can't remember the exact time frame, but
I think it is 5 business days.
5 business days.
And the rebate for the homeowner is held until that corrective action is completed. The most common corrective action is combustion ventilation error. So contractors have either sealed the home too tight and not installed proper ventilation, or maybe something isn't drafting correctly. And so far, contractors have been able to correct those deficiencies rather quickly. But some applications, some rebates are, all of the rebates are held until that corrective action is completed. So just keep in mind that this adds to the processing time if corrective action is required.
Great, thanks. How many free mentoring sessions do I get as an approved contractor? Well, you get 5. And what does that entail? That entails one of our qualified mentors / field verifiers coming out to your job site at a mutually agreeable date and location, and having maybe a few more of your staff there than normal, and obviously getting the homeowner's approval, and kind of walking you through. I think they'll kind of be walking the line between watching you do your own work and also helping you learn new stuff. So you obviously have time to get practical hands-on stuff experience. So that's kind of the way it would work. I might recommend doing someone you know's house or your own house if this is your first home performance job, but it's up to you. Okay, so health and safety. This is Melina's section, I believe. The last one, almost.
Yeah, we'll review some health and safety issues, and then Matt will end with next steps, and then then the presentation will be over. So very quickly, we do want to present you all with a safety overview. Comprehensive safety is a program requirement, so contractors must abide by BPI health and safety standards. We do expect contractors to meet OSHA equipment safety standards. So fit your subcontractors and employees with respirators and dust masks and gloves and any protective clothing necessary to handle some common safety concerns found in some of these existing homes. Combustion appliance safety tests are required for all jobs at test in and test out, so that means before and after the upgrades are installed. And be aware of hazardous materials and how to dispose of them when you find them during a job. The augmented BPI CAS protocols have been adopted, so these are the protocols that are approved for the program. As a participating contractor, you are taught these protocols at the one-day advanced technical training. They combine core BPI combustion appliance safety standards but they're augmented for this program. PG&E has integrated NGAP protocols, the National Gas Appliance Test Protocols, and these action guidelines contain those additional test procedures. Those action guidelines can be downloaded from our document library by visiting builditgreenutility.org, selecting resources, and then selecting the action guidelines from the document library. There are some potential hazards that are encountered on typical Energy Upgrade California jobs. So, PG&E whole house jobs commonly are submitted with notes about asbestos, but lead paint and mercury and polyurethane foam are common hazardous materials encountered. Knob and tube wiring has also been reported. That's a little less common, and I think it depends on the area that you work in. But be aware that there are hazardous materials like these and others that may require special attention. So the next steps section Matt will cover with you all, but it discusses or it summarizes how participating contractors can succeed in this rebate program as well as in Energy Upgrade California.
Thanks, Melina. So what does it take to succeed in this program? This is kind of like bringing it all together. Everything we've kind of downloaded on you. What does all that kind of mean, and how can you best navigate all of it to succeed? Well, it takes really all these different parts. It really takes administering your business in a way that's effective. I mean, finding the right staff to kind of manage the rebate processing and the paperwork submission. Obviously, you're going to need to, you shouldn't twist your whole business for these rebates. So your business model, should look at these rebates as something of, what that word is. It's an incentive. It's an incentive for homeowners to do this, but it's not the be-all, end-all. So get involved in this because it's a right business move for you, knowing that the rebates probably won't be around in 10, 15 years maybe. I'm hoping they will. They might be, but this is about driving a new industry and becoming, being a leader in the field. I mean, it's a pretty nascent industry, and we're really trying to drive a new industry here. So make sure it works for your business. Training. You're going to need to train your staff on an ongoing basis when you have turnover, as well as, up front. So PG&E offers some great trainings that are free as part of the enrollment process. I recommend taking full advantage of that. The basic and advanced trainings are great. They're a great introduction to home performance and building science. There are other trainings you're going to need to get, like, well, if you're not B licensed, you're going to need to get that. Possibly if you want to go for the advanced package in particular. But BPI is obviously a training that you might need to get. If you want to go for the advanced package, you're going to have someone with BPI on staff. So, keep that training fire alive, and know that it's not just something you do once, but it's something you have to kind of integrate on an ongoing basis. Sales and marketing, it's huge. I can't stress enough the need for good salespeople. Salespeople who aren't the building scientists, I would probably vote that they would probably be better hires than the guys who are real tech nerds. You can always train the sales guys to be more proficient in the technical stuff. It's a little harder sometimes to get technical people to be good salespeople. So something to think about. Take advantage of our marketing resources. We have great sales and marketing webinars on our website right now, and I highly recommend looking at a couple of them. It's going to take a couple hours of your time, but it could be well worth it. Policies. This is another one. I would, when contractors get involved in this program, I hear it all the time. It's like, what are the changes, and how do I keep it up to date with them? I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of it, but you have to set aside some time, even if it's just reaching out to us on the phone, and just ask what's new. I mean, just just integrate the small little steps to find out what's happening that's new, and kind of put aside a little bit of time to keep up to date. Customer safety, I would have put this in bright red if I could have, or maybe I should have. This is the kind of pinnacle to this whole program. We really want to make sure customers are safe in their home, because if anything happens, it's not good for any of us. So that's something that just needs to be done. And when you're tightening up homes, safety is of concern because it's a tighter building envelope. We want to make sure things are properly drafting and that the ventilation is adequate. And another key component in this is setting the right expectations with customers. I see a lot of contractors make the mistake of over-promising and under-delivering. If you flip that on its head, you under-promise and over-deliver. I would caution you, and I would advise you to train your whole staff to basically switch that around, so you constantly exceed expectations. And it comes down to the rebate. Don't promise numbers. Don't promise specific numbers until you need to talk about it, until you know for sure. Give them a range. Like, delay that conversation. Be honest with them about the number of visits that they might entail, coming into their home, and or call us if you have any confusion, so we can kind of guide you through that. But I would set those expectations with the customer. And then I've kind of beat this one to death, but mentoring, I would take advantage of it. It's a good service. So those are all the things that I think it takes to succeed in the program. And the next steps now for you are, you've done the participation workshop. This is your first step in the whole process. What I just wanted to let you know about the IT system, because there is some confusion on this sometimes. There's 3 main websites, or 2 rather, but one is called the portal for a reason. It links you to 2 different websites. So after you get enrolled, you'll get an enrollment approval email, and then that'll state that you're an approved contractor. And then within about a week, you should receive an email login for Green Energy Compass, which you'll see is the number 2 there. And then you'll get an email login for Energy Upgrade California statewide website, which is energyupgradeca.org, to enter your company profile to the public directory, as well as get access to some of those marketing resources. So I hope that gives you kind of a brief overview. You'll be, after this, I'll show you number 1, which is how to get the enrollment application started. So that's your first step. And once you do that and get approved, you'll mostly be dealing with number 2, the Green Energy Compass, and number 3, the statewide website. So the program contacts. So I recommend, let's just do it now. Let's go to the enrollment application right now. I'm going to allow that. I'm going to go to show you where you start the enrollment application. So this is the contractor portal. This is builditgreenutility.org. And go over here to all contractors and become, manage account enroll. Click on that. You saw screenshots of this before. And this is where you'll do it. You'll become a new user. So it's as simple as that. You can keep coming back to your application. I recommend setting some time aside and just doing it in a couple sittings. You'll have to gather some paperwork, so you may have to come back a couple times. That's how you do it. So that's what I recommend doing right now. And I'll go back to the presentation. Then the next step after you start your enrollment application is you're going to want to sign up for a basic or advanced technical training. And that's found on that same website, /calendar. On the website, I believe it's actually a link at the events page here. So it's not called calendar, but it's events. Click on that, and you'll see a listing of our upcoming events. So that's that. And the next advanced package is right here. And you can sign up. Then I would review the websites for more information. So that website we just visited is that contractor portal. We have a lot of recorded webinars on there, which will kind of give you a good sense of what the program's like. Be wary of going to the really old webinars because we just put them as an archive, so some of the program requirements may have changed. But if you're looking at the newer webinars or the ones that are kind of more on the sales or marketing, things that are kind of higher level and not about the program requirements, you should be good. There's also a document library, a news section where you can see kind of some of how the program has evolved over time and the new requirements as they have rolled out. And then Energy Upgrade California website, I would check that out too, and just kind of poke around and see what it's like. You can go into different counties and go into your county and see some content specific for your county. And with that, this is our questions time. If you have questions, this is the time to enter it in your chat box. There are some questions.
I need to log back in.
Okay.
So just to review the available emails, there for enrollment questions, the general email is enrollment@buildthegreenutility.org. General questions can be sent to info@buildthegreenutility.org, and then job-related questions can be sent to jobs@buildthegreenutility.org. buildthegreenutility.org. The contractor hotline is there, and you can be directed either to contractor services or to here at Build It Green once you start submitting jobs. But contractor services will be your primary resource until you become an approved contractor. Any questions that contractors have, please submit them now. This is a good time to go over any unanswered questions or any questions that we may not have answered during the presentation. If there's anything else you'd like to see on the website, we can do another live demonstration if necessary. I don't see any questions being submitted, so it may be just a good time to end.
Great. Yeah, I mean, if you liked what you heard today, give us a shout out. We always like that. You'll receive a follow-up email within about a week, and we'll include the slides and such in that email, and a link to the recording with some of these next steps. So just keep an eye out for that email. And if you really can't wait and you want to see the slides now and kind of keep a refresher, I can show you where they are. There's this document library. Go to that, and then go down here to Participation Workshop Slide Deck. You can download those right now. So that is our presentation, and I really thank you for your patience and for hanging in there for the full 2 hours. We hope that you become part of this program and start selling these upgrade jobs, because we want to see you succeed and help you in that.
There was a final question submitted. Can you talk about Thursday's event really quick? So we have a regional forum that we're holding in San Jose. We just had one in Santa Rosa, and this is a forum where we invite participating contractors to discuss their experiences with the program, to offer suggestions to the program implementers, which is us, Build It Green. But there's also a representative from PG&E. They're available to answer any larger programmatic questions about the program's term, about marketing efforts. So this invitation was sent out to approved participating contractors over the past 2 months, and it ideally is a forum for current contractors to discuss what they've identified to be either problems or suggest areas of improvement, and get feedback from PG&E, from the PG&E manager directing this rebate program during this 2-hour regional forum. So we're hoping to hold those on a pretty regular basis. We've held 2 so far, in addition to a contractor exchange, which we hope to hold on a yearly basis. So that may be something encouraging to know as a participating contractor. We do value your feedback. this program is dependent on your participation as well as homeowners' participation, and we do seek information regarding your participation and any suggestions for improvement. So when you become enrolled, that's an avenue for you to present feedback to us as well as to PG&E.
Great. Any more questions?
That's it.
Okay. Well, have a great afternoon, everyone. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you next time. Have a good afternoon. Bye.